Welcome back to ESL Pro League, everyone. We have just witnessed the first map win there go in favour of Big. It was quite one-sided for Windigo, but they messed up a few of their clutch rounds, and it all went downhill. We now have our second map in the series, Ben, and this one is going to be Overpass.
Yeah, so that first map, I was always wondering how good would Big be on Nuke. And Windigo were looking much better. As you mentioned, they looked in a good position to take the map. Unfortunately, losing the clutch rounds, next saving the day, you could say. 2 clutch rounds on 15-13, 15-14. And Big, ultimately, they kind of ran with it in overtime, it's fair to say. And now they have to consider, they get the point from it, fine. You go into Overpass. So Big, another map that they're not particularly comfortable with in my mind. They could still take this one.
Yeah. Alright. I mean, if we think in sort of recently what we've seen from Big, right? There was the 200 IQ save, where they threw the weapons over the wall, and the bomb blast killed him. That was quite interesting.
It was quite nice.
Other than that, it has been quite slow. And Smooya not having the best day once again. Very slow off the draw. Tabson pretty much, having to step in and carry with the AWP there, finding the majority of frags. Still constantly reinvesting though and giving him that AWP setup. Looked better by the time we got into OT. Seemed like he'd started to wake up. But if he hasn't found his form as soon as we delve into the second map, it could go very wrong very quickly.
It's starting to wonder, where is he one of those players who needs to get the kills early to actually get an impact in the game? Because from what we've seen in the last few days, he hasn't been getting early impact kills and he kind of disappears, really. He doesn't get that impact which we expect. Thankfully, Tabson is playing quite well.
Yes.
Right, so Tabson, he's playing the main A-site player, so he gets to use the AWP on that side, and he was doing really well with it yesterday. Smooya, there was no presence towards B, so he couldn't really get anything done. He was AWPing to a short, nobody's going to his crosshair. Same goes on Nuke, he was AWPing and he wasn't really getting anything done. And it's a big worry for me, because Smooya's meant to be that big player. He's meant to come out with these big performances, flashy plays. He's not getting anything done right now.
And it's scary, because obviously that is his dedicated role, right? I mean, think about sort of what he used to get up to on Overpass in the UK scene.
Yeah.
He'd be running around the map like a lunatic, being able to open up, everything. Very aggressive towards connector, very aggressive towards mid. Tabson taking that position off him. Towards B, it looks almost as if he's just sort of trapped in a cage, Ben, like a dog.
Or a rat. Yeah. It's been quite disappointing though, isn't it? It's just, we expect more. And the issue is, it's all well and good that Tabson's playing well, picking up the AWP. But you don't want to take him off the rifle, do you? He's a really good rifler. It's not what you want to be doing in this situation. And unfortunately, they're having to do it just to scrape these results in. Like, yesterday it was another situation where they needed to scrape by because they've got a player who's not performing as well as he should, right? It's fair to say it's not even like a personal dig at him or anything. It's literally the stats show that he's not playing as well as he normally does. Yeah,
and that is the downside. We do have the odds for this matchup as well, so we can see how that is reflected there. 1.4 to the 2.6 of Windigo. Still in favour of Big, expected. I mean, they just won the prior map. Overall, they have been looking like the better team. Windigo, they had a few very nice rounds. Unfortunately, when it just came down to the clutches, that was where the error lied. It seemed that they almost had a bit of a communication breakdown the last sort of 10 seconds. Very much sort of messy comms, it looked like.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the common trends with this team, though. They seem to have a lot of rounds where they look really good, but then also a lot of rounds where they just disappear, it's fair to say. You can see the mess up is about to happen, and it does. Funnily enough, though, there was one previous incident where they did play this map against each other. That was at the Global Challenge LAN back in May. But that was when Spellland was playing instead of Blocker, Big had Legia instead of Smooya. That was a 16-14 in favour of Windigo. So if you think about the trade-offs, Blocker coming in for Spellland, that's a pretty good mechanical switch-up. Spellland normally a caller is the thing you can consider there. Legia for Smooya, that's always going to be an upgrade, because Legia not a fantastic player when it comes to mechanical skill. Smooya should be. But right now you could argue Legia would be playing the same level as him. So it's a bit of a weird one. Like, that game was 16-14. It wouldn't be surprised if we saw something again like that.
Yeah, it feels like that could potentially be the case, because there's definitely a lapse right now in the skill that we expect to see coming out from Smooya. Obviously, we know how well he can perform. Not really there on the server. Tabson having to step up and do an awful lot of damage. Got B individually as well, playing well today, which is a contrast to what we saw before, where he was actually struggling quite heavily, obviously, on the Dust 2 games we saw about 2 days ago now. So a lot of ups and downs for this team in Pro League, but they have been playing a ton of games, so it's hard to judge.
Isn't it? There's a lot of games, sure, which means you've got good sample size, but when every player is having some games where they're really good, some games where they're really bad, it kind of doesn't give you a real idea. You're just thinking everybody's a bit inconsistent. The only player that's been doing really well constantly is Tabson. And it's all well and good having him play well, but you're having him now move into a role which does take him away from his primary bit. Like, he's normally a really good rifler. He's meant to be able to pick up the AWP when needed. It's similar to like that Stewie sort of thing. Stewie can rifle really well, but he'll pick up an AWP every now and then. However, you don't want him picking it up more than the rifle. Tabson's having to do that, and Smooya needs to get a good map in, because I imagine his self-confidence is at a low as well, because frankly, he's not been playing well. That's something we know. He's quite a stressing player in that way. He likes to think if he's playing well, he gets really hyped.
Yeah.
If he isn't, he gets really down.
Takes it on him on himself quite a lot. Obviously, very vocal about how he feels about things like that as well. So it does come across. Other downside is they did lose when they played against Fnatic on this map last night. That was in overtime, and there was a lot of disrespect coming out as well. Yeah, there was. So potentially that could have left him in a bit of an awkward mindset. Yeah,
it's a bit of a weird one, because he might think that he's not done anything wrong, particularly to annoy them or make them hate him or whatever. Which then he might be taking things a bit too personally, and that then leads to you starting to change the way you play or the way you talk to people, which some people would argue he does need to change that way. But
attitude's always been a big question.
Yeah, it has. It's always been one of the main things people talked about when it comes to having him in a bigger team.
Well, maybe they need John Cena then, with the attitude adjustment.
Perhaps. To be fair, it wouldn't be the worst move in the world.
Well, we are in. Windigo going to be on the T side, Big going to be on the CT side. Early contact comes through. Tabson looking like he's going to be rushed down. Smooya goes for the early contact phase, but begins to peel back after they get the read.
So Godby actually doesn't go for a kit here, he just goes for all the grenades, and Tabson, bit of an aggressive info play there. Doesn't mean that Windigo have a man up, but you can see Smooya's position on the map. He's got a lot of info from there. However, the T side, they could go down connector if they really wanted to, which is why you can see Godby playing a bit further back now. The X-Suit's coming in, 3 players on the site. Smooya's lurk will be a big impact later on. However, next, he's got 2 kills, but Smooya, I mentioned his lurk would be quite big. However, they've already spotted him. There's no kit on the site. It's a big 1v3 to win.
It's going to be very, very hard for him to pick this one up. Slides up towards the steps. It's going to be sticking his head over, seeing what he can actually get in terms of information as the push comes out towards the site. This close angle being held. Nicely played. Gets the first. He's a bit paranoid now. Knows they're around, but doesn't know exactly where. Taps the bomb to try and force out the face. But they're just wasting time. Oh, Victor, when he peeks as well in mid-air, gets that kill with the Glock.
Victor starting off strong. We saw him have a few issues last map. Bit of distressed play, I suppose. You know, the spray not really working as he wants it to.
Individually looking very frustrated with himself.
Yeah. And now he gets an AK in, along with a 3K to start it off. And Big, the same old system that we have seen from them before. Ecoing into this one, they'll buy next. Smooya is guaranteed that he will not have enough money for an AWP unless he gets a kill with the P250 he just purchased. They were actually doing the triple boost towards short. So now if a player were to try and clear towards Graffiti, they'll run into an absolute tank of enemies. Blocker, the man moving towards it. I don't know if he'll even check to his left. Smooya gets the kill that I mentioned he would need to get an AWP next round. That's the only info they'll get though. They'll know that there's minimum 1 player there. Blocker, unless he moved his death cam, or him push. Bubble keeping USB. Probably dies with that. So I mentioned on Nuke, ships sport the AWP over Bubble each time. On Overpass, it looks like we might be having a change of scenery. Bubble, if he survived with the USB, I think he would have gone AWP. Instead, it's going to be the 5 rifle player. Let's see if Smooya can get anything done there. He's gone glass cannon. And towards the B side of the map, he needs to get involved. Straight in through the molly. And he's going to peek the short by the should be a 3 kill. Oh, that's not a good start.
Absolutely punished, Ben. Blocker. Very effective stuff as he lands the initial contact there with the rifle. Next, looking to try and trade it back, but the push is going to come through and it goes in their favor. He did get 1 kill, but the trade was rapid. And it's already only 3 players left now for the side of Big.
Big needs to make some kind of play. The push through monster will come through. Blocker stops it completely in its tracks. Now it's just Godby on this side, Tabson on the other. Both players, if they're holding towards one side, they'll need to get minimum 2 kills to make it possible for their teammate. Tabson decides, I'm going to join up with you. If they come B, we might be able to win. If they go A, we can save. So they're going to double up towards Monster, and that's where the main push will be coming through, but it looks things. This could be very dangerous as Windigo. The flash comes through, Godby's a free kill, but Tabson can't get anything done. He thinks 2 players, but that's not enough. Just when I thought Smooya needs to get started with that AWP, he goes through the fire and everything great. Blocker just rips his head off.
Yeah. Manhandled him, Ben. Like a small child with an action man. Pulls his head off.
And who knows where that head's gone now. Blocker sent it to Mars, I think.
Yeah, behind the sofa.
Maybe.
Could have been anywhere.
Literally could have been anywhere. This nade might do some damage if they go into playground. There's 4 towards Bubble. Unfortunate trade for Tabson. So I think that guarantees that Tabson will probably be going for an AWP next round. Because Smooya wasn't really able to get much done with his. We saw Big go for the triple boost twice yesterday, didn't we, in the same round? They did it towards short, they got a kill onto Crims, I believe.
Yeah.
They then boosted here as well to try and check it. Unfortunately, they're not going to see anybody outside Monster. Windigo will not see that boost happen either. Unless they watched the game yesterday, they will not know that they tend to use it. Bubble, really awkward battle. Blocker even gets dinked as well. There's a lot of damage being put out here by Big. Punisher should have heard that door open. Gets the kill to Tizian. You've got 3 players that arguably one-shot for Smooya here. If he headshots any 3 other players, it's a free kill. Gets that one on Punisher, but goes towards B. Which is the wrong call in this instance.
Ooh. Victor going to be tagged, left on 63 HP as this push goes out towards the A site. Smooya rotates around as well, going to link up and assist with Next. So 2 versus 3. Can they pull off this retake? Next instantly annihilates one. Ships is gone. Blocker trades it onto Smooya. Nade rolls in. And Next is looking a little bit spooked here. Forced to try and retreat.
He'll save the M4, I think. No kit. That nade did a lot of damage. Forces him all the way back.
Where's the smoke?
That's unfortunate. $300 lost.
Yeah.
Goes to the AK, in fact, instead. Back in the park.
Sharks, today I'm here to show you the idea of a smoke grenade.
This bad boy's got $300 worth value.
You can smoke off angles. You can use it to take angles.
It's not proprietary. I do not own this. However, you could get one.
Yeah. However, you could get involved. I'm looking to give 30% of my company for $44 billion.
The double up comes through. Tabson, it did feel like they needed to get him involved with it. Especially as Smooya started off quite, I wouldn't say poorly, but it wasn't a good start by any means. They're going for the boost, was sure.
Not really his fault, his face got ripped off.
Yeah, he peeked in Stangle. He had no real chance.
Yeah.
Blocker was so quick on the trigger. So Smooya did see them come out a door then. So short control achieved by Windigo. Smoke has to come through from Big towards short as well. Flash towards Monster comes in. Tizian checks it slightly, but not fully. Oh, that's a lot of damage through the wall by Cop B. So there's a small kind of execute coming in, and Next gets taken up by Victor. Trade by Smooya, thankfully. Tabson with a kill on the other side of the map. He gets another one. Surely not the third. Trade comes through. It's a 3v1 now for Bubble. Has it all to do. Picks up the AWP for this round. Straight into the crossover. Smooya, though, unfortunately. I don't think they'll be able to grab that second AWP, though. Depends if Godby can reach it. He does. I was thinking if I was Bubble, you'd probably try and throw it over the wall just to guarantee they don't have a chance of grabbing it, right? Pause come through, though. That should be Windigo taking that on. Quite a scrappy round, if you think about. Beyond the time that they got short control, from there wasn't really a game plan. Like, it was quite messy, no real idea. Victor got that kill onto Next, but then it was just instantly traded. Nobody else there going with them.
Yeah.
No real cohesion on that push.
Just doing it for the sake of it, really. Didn't seem like there was much of an afterthought. But it's going to be a 4-1 on Windigo. It's an early pause, but let's see if it is going to pay off to get them back into the game already.
So Bubble picking up the AWP. They recognise they need to kind of fight back against the double AWP that Big do currently have in play. So that Molotov coming through, but Bubble's actually going to put it out. So that's an interesting decision. Tabson completely flashed off the angle. I think they're trying to boost over it, or they actually flash pushed all the way through. Interesting move. Tabson warping the fountain angle. Smoke comes in. Doesn't want to reveal where he is playing though. Doesn't shoot that shot that normally Orpers would just shoot a shot just to show if somebody was there or taking them down. He's trying to hold on to as much utility as he can on this, because he's basically solo A here. God B is playing towards that map sort of area. Plus he doesn't need to risk too much. His teammates over at B have got B short control.
Ooh. So Tabson gets the contact, starts to divert back over towards the site, wants to get into a position to actually be able to hold this, has support from God B.
Nex has arrived as well. It's going to be an A player as well. They've got 3 players here and they're fast rotate through connector if needed. Nex gets the first one. The trade isn't really there. Punisher, I was going to say he's losing that trade through the smoke, but it does get that dink onto Nex later on. Another very scrappy round from them though. No real idea in play here. Tabson should be able to clean up this last play pushing up. His Ships is holding all the way back. There's 20 seconds left. They're trying to save, but Tizian's already at the back. This should be a free kill. Unfortunately, a bit of a whiff, it's fair to say. Smooth pushing up. Bit of a risky, aggressive exit hunt here. Lands the shot. Just Victor left.
So big, they get that round. And Victor left to just try and stay alive. But he goes down. They kill him off the time as well, Ben. That is horrible for Victor. He's just left with 850.
Not a great round at all from Windigo. It was very one-dimensional. They didn't really get any control towards B. Big were able to orchestrate that play from the get-go. They had 3 players there already with a fast rotate. Worrying signs. They start off strong again, same as they did on Nuke. But Big got a footing into it without even needing to use a pause this time.
Okay, so Windigo going for the more aggressive just charge here. Could be doing a little bit of Tour de Overpass, the around the world. They'll run into the crosshair of Tabson. He'll fire off the warning shot but miss it. Being able to peel back towards the site as they are just swamping Ben. They would have burst out, try and gain a site control, but Godby and Tabson are doing a very effective job of punishing them all. And next to the final double kill. They only lose Tabson, but they've been able to pick up all the trades, and it will go 4-3.
Windigo do have another buy available to them. But I feel like they need to get on the board because the rounds they've lost, they've not been looking great in any way. They've looked a bit lost, they've been a bit predictable. No clear idea in mind. 5 players towards B. Smokes being ready to deploy as well. This might be the Cloud9 push towards B. Coming in from flashes coming in. It's all on Smooya, I feel.
Smooya blind though, restricted, misses the opening shot, Ben. They've swarmed their way in, they get the first frag. Surely the follow-up as well. Tizian will be killed. Next, he has been the saving grace for them, and he needs to keep on giving it. The double kill is absolutely sublime. Nade going to be chucked out as well. It's a 3 versus 2. Next might have saved their bacon, and he has.
Yeah, I said they would be on Smooya. He missed that first shot, probably should have got at least one. But Next, he sat in that smoke really well. And Windigo go for the pause. It's not surprising because that's one of the playbook strats used right there. The Cloud9 rush towards B. All the smoke's being deployed. They get the first kill. They even get the second with a trade, but unfortunately Next just ruins their day completely. It's already tied up, and I feel like we will probably see a 10-5 half in favour of Big if things don't change. It was a very similar state of affairs on Nuke. Think about it. It was 5-0 to Windigo. Big finally got around to the board, and from there they just steamed away.
It's staying close right now, 4-4. In terms of the buy though, Big are much more favoured. Double AWP, 1 AUG, 2 AKs. Well, 1 AK, 1 M4 there on Tizian. Windigo, it's just whatever they could scrape out, so majority armour. There's a deco round, Ben. Everyone's gone for the Deagles.
I do like hearing deco. I haven't heard it since Sorcery.
Yeah.
Nobody ever uses it.
It's not used as a term much anymore. I still try and say deco.
Yeah. So is it because we often... Like CSS, you had no real use from the compact.
Yeah.
Or the, technically it was the what, the 5.7?
Yeah.
Or the dualies on the T-so is the other one, wasn't it?
So it was basically just like deco.
Yeah, that was the only other pistol you could buy.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't buy a USP. Like, that was one of the weird things. No. As a T, you could buy a USP.
But it was, yeah, it's not worth
$500, not worth it. And the deco, not really doing much this round. Tabson being strong as ever with the AWP. Got to be with the AUG as well, doing well.
The scope's coming through, looking quite effective for the side of Big. They have got the lead. 1 round advantage now over Windigo. Can they actually start to build to that? Is this going to be where they maintain it? Or is it still going to be this constant trade game, the back and forth that we're witnessing between these two sides?
I'm saying that Windigo really needs to get on the board. It's not really comes to them so far. And Tabson, look how confident this player is. It's going to be an obvious B play coming from them. Smear did leg block at that time. So perhaps with his team gaining confidence, he is as well. Been getting a lot more kills this game compared to the last. I think it will be a B execute from Windigo. It's just a matter of time when they do decide to do the execute. God B will be ready for this fast push behind them. They've got to be trying to separate the CT and Graffiti, rotate or players from the complete site. Smoothie already getting an opener though. Here comes the push. And next, line them up.
That is sublime, Ben. The kills they're finding are absolutely tasty. And Big will get that round. Looking dominant next with the lineup. Everything going their way towards that B push this time around. Ooh, another AUG.
Bought by mistake, I believe. Nobody else can use that.
I was going to say, what's going with this AUG?
Maybe it's just a spare in spawn. Oh no, there's an AWP on the floor as well, yeah.
Oh.
The AUG will stay.
In case they want to fall back and use the AUG, I guess? Or
maybe. Yeah.
Seems like it might have just been a misbuy.
It feels like you're watching a football scrimmage, right? Of attackers versus defenders. And you've been told to just keep running the same drill over and over again. At Big, as the defenders, they just know what's coming, so it's very easy for them to dictate and fight against it. Because Windigo, they're being very predictable right now. There's not much, you know, flavor or like flair to the play that they're doing. They're just going for the same old execute from the get-go, and you know it's going to happen. And unfortunately, they're not landing any shots with it. Godby already getting the first kill as well. It's just not very good.
No. Very standard. Very repetitive here. They're being able to counter it every time, really. And, ooh, Tabson. I mean, they literally peek him whilst he was fumbling with grenades, but he still stayed alive. And even then, he's getting aggressive. There is 2 big kills that come into effect, though. 1 for Punisher, 1 for Blocker. Next with a trade, we'll get the shot off on Blocker. Drops the smoke. Punisher hits the shot. And it's now a 1-on-2 left into this matchup.
He's so very low, though. It's a big ask from him. Especially with the bomb down in the open as it is. Smoothie can cover the angle. Keeps running around though, it's a bit weird, I don't understand that.
He could have just held something, but...
Yeah, I don't understand at all. Tizian should get the kill for free though. Punisher's trying to overthink it a bit. And Tizian finally clears up the round, which... It started off a lot stronger, but ended up with 4 players dying on the big side. It won't be too much of a hit to the money. Because you can see next he had 16k, Smoothie basically 12k as well. The money across the board is perfectly fine on the big side. Windigo on the other hand. Pistol armor. Hope that something comes their way. Because right now it doesn't feel like anything is at all.
No, they've had the worst luck in a lot of these rounds. Big have just been able to get momentum back in their favour and look effective. At this point, Windigo setting up, seeming like they're going to try to take that connect control. They've got 2 players as well waiting to go out through mid. Blocker the only one towards the B site, but he's got the utility.
Very slow round though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Compared to the last few we have seen.
Just slowly taking that map control. Not really anything crazy happening, but Tabson just clicking mouse 1 as the push comes in. The grenade he drops as well, gets that kill on ships. And he still keeps on going, Ben. Feeding himself more frags as he's found 3, nearly the 4th. So confident to take these firefights.
Tizian just jumping around the corner as well. Smoothie gets the final kill into the round. Windigo not looking like a good side on Overpass by looks things. This, it's got to be their third pause coming in, right? So we were talking about Big using all three of their 4 pauses last map in the first half. Windigo have now done the same. And it makes sense here though. With Big doing it, they were winning rounds of pausing.
Yeah,
it's quite weird.
They were getting the win, then pausing afterwards to try to talk about it all. Whereas Windigo,
they need to get in the game.
Yeah, they really do. They're struggling right now. Big, already 8 rounds picked up. They're not far off, at the very least, getting themselves a 10-5 scoreline at the half. It's what it's looking like it could shape up as. Big, seeming dominant, a whole lot better than what we saw at first.
Seems to be the case, though. They start quite slowly on all the maps, by looks things.
On a show?
Talking on Steam, complaining to his friends about this team.
Probably.
Perhaps.
We are struggling.
Help. Help. No any strat overpass? Question mark? Tweeted that one out.
We live?
I believe we are. No, I don't think so.
I don't
that movement there, no.
No.
Maybe he is talking on Steam to his friends.
Maybe.
PC crashed?
Yeah. Things gone wrong? Question mark?
Technical pause on the Windigo side. I imagine it was from Punisher though as well.
He was the last one to move out of spawn for quite some time, so.
Yeah. Maybe it's time for a play in the park.
Could be. We are over in the park.
Yeah.
Let's see, go on the swings.
Yeah, we could do.
Ooh, there we are.
Some gentle swings though, not
Yeah.
too aggressive. We're not going to try and go...
We don't want to go over.
Yeah, we don't want to break the laws of physics, do we?
I mean, the thing is about swings, you have to obviously build up speed, man.
Yeah. The classic tactic of pull the legs back on the way back,
Get
and
the
forward on the way forward.
But as for slides, the tactic's very simple. It's just hands in the air.
And yeet down it.
Whee!
There we go.
And again.
It's a bit of a hazard, isn't it, this part?
It is very dangerous, yeah.
It's a slide into the sandpit.
Yeah, which is also quite painful. Because
it's an interesting one, isn't it? The swings are on the sandpit as well. That's not a very stable...
That's just gravel.
...foundation at all, is it? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know who designed this park.
I don't know if it's very accurate to what German parks are normally like.
Maybe. You got Pudge there as well.
Yeah, of course.
Fresh meat.
Yeah.
The best Dota 2 champion.
So the odds somehow reflecting that Big are less likely to win the map than they were at the start of it. I don't know how that makes any sense.
Even though they're winning.
Yeah, I don't know how that one makes sense. Like, that doesn't...
No.
It was, what, 1.4 at the start of the game? For Big?
I think so, yeah.
Which that would be a heavy favourites in that situation. Now they're somehow more even when Big have won 8 rounds in a row. That's very odd. And this is on CT side as well, so technically that's the side you're meant to win rounds on. They are winning rounds on it. It's a god-beat team as well. Very peculiar. There might be a wrench down in the connector, actually, thinking about it.
There was a shovel.
Yeah, we just saw a shovel on the side, didn't we?
Yeah. So you can bury snods.
That's true. That's one way of using the shovel.
Yeah. Well, ready to get underway. Round 13. It's an 8-4 scoreline.
Smooya finally on the A side of the map with his AWP.
And this is more like classic Smooya.
They're boosting. Well, actually, he's boosting God B.
Oh.
That's an interesting... Oh. God B misses the Molotov. Boosting Smooya onto this. We saw them actually planning to do this boost earlier on before the tactical or technical pause came in. However, I thought you would normally put a rifle up there, but I suppose it works just fine if you're scoped into a party. They wouldn't expect to see somebody this high up on the angle.
Oh. Tabson gets the first and the second.
He's playing so well.
Easy kills for Tabson.
That scope does make noise.
Yeah,
as well.
All he's got to do is just hold, though, really.
Punisher's trying to make the move straight into the angle that God B is holding there. Easy kill. Smooya gets that one as well. Bubble. He has an AWP himself. Unfortunately, doesn't have it out when next peaks.
Oh, flashbang in.
None of these flashbangs actually reaching him, really. The Tabson. He's playing so well with the AWP.
The speedy crouch face. Yeah, he really is. He's been popping off overall. 14 kills to his name right now. Looking effective.
everybody across the board is looking pretty good. Tizian hasn't had much to do, I guess, towards B. But otherwise, it's quite balanced. 14 kills, 13 there. I think those stats were wrong slightly, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that's just because the
on the
pass
match medic.
Maybe,
Yeah, it would be, because Tabson had 300 ADR or something daft. B-Rush is going to come in, straight through them all. As I said, Tizian hadn't much to do. Now he does. Oh, he's running in fire.
Oh, they're also blind, Ben. But look at the damage done to the CT side already as they pick up. Oh, 2 big kills. Punish will be able to trade it back, but God B, Death from above, finds that kill. And it is all on Blocker to 1v3. Not a round he wanted to be in this positioning. Oh.
Tabson actually missed that first shot. I think he tried shooting when he saw him on the radar instead of waiting for it to fully dissolve. But ultimately, that was such a last-ditch effort rush towards B. Very uninspiring half from Windigo. 4-0. You're looking at 11-4. I said 10-5 thinking they might grab around here and there, but they have not done that yet. Really disappointing from them.
Lackluster performance here compared to what we saw in the first map.
Possibly deflated after that, though, isn't it? That's the other side of it. Some teams react quite badly to losing in overtime when they should have won.
Yeah. It can hit you. Smooth up. Put on the boost. Going to be peering over.
The door's about to open as soon as the flash comes through.
Oh,
that's a lovely kill.
Good adjustment. Finds that pick. Goes back for more as well.
Oh, Tizian. He won't know that he's damaged bubble so much, but he will as soon as he runs out and gets the kill easily. It's so uninspiring from them, though. There's nothing really being done. These pushes are just so... Do you want to try this? Like, they do it, and you know they don't even get a single kill on that push. 11 rounds in a row for Big.
Very much just doing things for the sake of it.
It's just so lifeless. You've got to be thinking, if it goes onto the CT side, if they lose the pistol, it's probably game from there. Because they would need something big to happen for them to actually get back into this. The thing is, as well, they haven't looked fantastic, like, mechanically, either. Like, not just, like, the team play, the cohesion, the strats or anything. They're not even landing the shots. Like, that's usually where you get bailed out in some situations where somebody will get, like, the 2 kills they shouldn't have, probably.
Yeah.
But that's not even happening. You know, Tabson's been ruining their day when they go towards A, next towards B, and all in all, it makes me wonder, how did this end up on Overpass as well? Because I imagine Nuke was meant to be Windigo's, technically their preferred side of it. But instead they're looking at maybe getting a single point in this series.
Which would be rough as well. They need to try and fight their way through. I mean, if they can at least walk away with 3 points from this, get 4, that'd be nice, but it's not looking likely. It doesn't even seem like an overtime potential could be a likely story right now as well, but the pistol will begin. Maybe they've got some tricks up their sleeves on their CT half. This is where they could reinvigorate themselves, but it does not look likely. Seeming very much one-sided for Big right now.
They do go for that full armor on CT as well. This is something they used to do in the first week of Pro League this season as well. They were very common, just the full armor. The batlink was short as well. The flash is beautiful. Tabson only gets the 1, thanks to the trade from Punisher, but Punisher going a bit too aggressive, I feel.
Yeah, the overcommit there.
Winning that fight as well.
Ooh, 2 fast kills for Smooya, and Ships is the only one that remains. So 1 versus 4.
They know where he is as well. He has to make the play. He's just running at them. Loses that fight. It's as if they've already accepted this game is over, if I'm honest. The fight, they lose all the fights they get given. And to think they won the last time the core of these lineups matched up on Overpass just seems so weird, because it's obviously a map that they were willing to play in the past. Now they just look out of it. Got the single flash on Punisher there. He'll be there as soon as the flash is over. They will push towards long. Smoothie holding a very tight angle though. He can get swarmed really easily. Good flash. They don't check the corner, but thankfully the AK is a very good weapon.
Yeah. The 4K spray down. Tabson going to find the final headshot on Punisher. Making these rounds very snappy, Ben. Just battering their way through them as quick as can be.
This is the last effort, I feel, for Windigo. If they lose this, they'll basically be probably forcing into it over and over again.
Tizian and God B are on the SMGs. We've got the Mac 10 and the MP7 for round 18 here.
Tizian takes the aggression towards short straight away. Ships, look how low he is already.
Oh,
just runs straight into him.
The Biggie Smalls burst. He's a terror since the public school era, Ben. As he finds the first kill, they're going to be diving straight into Punisher as well. Molotov's going to go down. Punisher forced to fall back to the other angle. They push their way through. Punisher in a very awkward confrontation. Next will kill him. And it is now a 3-on-3.
3-on-3, but look at the grenades that Windigo have got left. If a push comes in, they haven't got anything to repel the opponents other than simply fighting them. And that's not been something that they've done well so far this game. You can see Bubble. He was looking towards it. The smoke's going to come in. He's actually going to have to fight. He doesn't have any grenades, and that's not a good start to the fight at all.
Oh, next gets the headshot off, kills Bubble. Blocker will trade it, but Tabson goes straight in to get the shot off. It is all up to Victor. 1 versus 4, and quite the unvictorious position. It will be very hard for him to get the heroism on this one. Tabson with a connection, 14-4. Battering down the doors. They are very close to closing this one out, and a pause will come through. This must be Windigo's last pause here, really, to try and sort things out. It's technical.
So, remember at the start of the game, I mentioned that Victor got 3 kills on the pistol, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's thinking this might be the start of something new. He's got 5 kills so far this game. 3 of them were in the pistol round.
It's not ideal, but
2 kills since the pistol round.
Not great.
17 rounds, 2 kills.
What's the average on that? Like
it's literally a kill every 8.5 rounds.
There you go.
Like that's literally an entire half of a half. He'll get a kill across that period, apparently. In this matchup, at least. Like, he wasn't having a good game on Nuke, it's fair to say, but we thought maybe
seemed like, you know, yeah, he's back into it. Pistol rounds, got him hyped.
Still. I would love to know if he got any kills in the following rounds, because Windigo were leading 4-0, weren't they?
Yeah.
So if he got all 5 of those kills, technically...
In the first 4.
It'd be really awkward if you put it that way. You know, he literally gets 0 kills in the rounds they lost.
Yeah.
Not even trying to fight back.
Alright, we lose.
That's so weird. I might take a look at that, actually.
Delve into the stats.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
We are just waiting for Windigo to fix a TeamSpeak issue, so the comms will be restored.
We can tell that TeamSpeak issues there, to be fair. It's been quite messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite messy.
It does seem like the comms have gone all kinds of wrong. 14-4, and big. And you really need 2 rounds, Ben, to close this one down and walk away with a good majority of the points. It won't be the full 6, it will only be 5, as they took an overtime win in the prior map. So obviously they concede 1 point straight away to Windigo, but it seems like we're ready to get back into it. Game is unpaused. Teams are going live.
Victor got 4 kills in the first 4 rounds. So he's had 1 kill in 15. Or 14, say.
That's rough.
It'll be 15 if he gets nothing here. Oh, he's got to peek it. Blocker. A lot of damage done, at least, but Ships is now the only one there. Loses that fight as well.
This round's over.
Unless Victor can double his kill tally this round. He is the man in heaven, drops straight into towards Freiburg. Gonna be mollied off the angle though, he has to peek into it, I feel. Doesn't go for that instead, stays behind the smoke. Flash is coming through. God B. Another flash will come through and the push comes in. Victor gets 1 kill. A lot of damage being dealt.
Oh.
And Victor gets the 1, and unfortunately 15-4 now. So 2 kills and 15 for him. He's lowering the average. It's now 1 in 7.5.
It's just keeps on getting bigger.
Yeah, so they've got 11 match points to play with Big. Plenty of rounds for them to toy with, in theory. However, Windigo, I can't see much life in them, because the rounds that they had were uninspiring. We didn't really expect much from them, and they just keep committing to this short aggression.
Yeah, they've tried it so many rounds.
They've taken just on the way in.
But it's also the fact that it's not really worked once. They finally get an advantage into this one. 5 versus 3, but look at the health bars. Blocker and Ships are both substantially lower than the opponents on Big.
Punisher did hear Tabson at mid. He dropped onto the bench, made quite a lot of noise. Which is why you can see Bubble repositioning now, going a bit aggressive. He's covering that highway angle at the very least. The issue is, if Big were to execute towards B, there's a player at barrels. He's only at 12 HP, so if the Molotov lands to his right here, he dies 100% regardless. Because he'll have to push forward, or he'll have to just accept it. I can't but feel he wouldn't Molotov barrels as well. There's 2 available. Tabson. He's actually lining up for Freiburg instead. Oh. There we go. Ships has died to the molly anyway.
Well, he was so low. Victor on the site. Can he start to have some more strong rounds? No. Taken down. Tabson as well finds a kill. It's 2 versus 2. Bentizian very low. And no utility to try and allow him to cross here either. Punisher will find that frag, but Tabson brings it into the 1 versus 1 blocker on 29 HP. Oh, he doesn't do it, Ben. The peak comes around. Tabson, 4 HP and a hat trick as they shut that one down. Big are going to be winning it. They will secure 5 points out of the available 6 versus Windigo. Damn, Ben.
If you think about how Nuke was, that's a pretty good recovery from Big.
Yeah.
Right? They carried on that momentum, which, Windigo, they must have taken it to heart a bit, right? Because that was completely deflated into the performance. So you thought 4-0, starting off strong, okay, clearly that previous map loss has affected them. Instead, they start losing rounds, they start doing these executes which were just so predictable for Big, and there was just nothing happening.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. And the short aggression every time as well. I mean,
CT, I didn't understand that.
Over and over again, but they were getting nothing from it. So the definition of insanity, Ben. Yep. Doing the same thing over and over again.
Expecting a different outcome. The worst thing is, it's not as if they did it and then were succeeding.
No.
They did it 3 times in a row and got killed each time. They then do it once and get the kill, and they probably think, nice worked, go do that again.
But we have been left on 20 HP, and we've lost the game. We lost the whole game. Well, there you have it, man. Big, 5 points picked up. But it's not the end of Big's games today, though. There's more to come. Our last game of the night will be Big facing off against Heroic. Before that, we have a little bit more FaZe Clan fun coming up. We will see you in our second series after the break.
By Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESDA.